We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Just Jay. Just Jay says, we previously said that if you're installing Atmos speakers and they have wide, even dispersion that Dolby recommends, then they should be pointed straight down and not aimed at your seats in any way. But all speakers have at least slightly different response off-axis versus on-axis. So if they're directly on-axis. So if they're pointed straight down and we're getting off-axis response, isn't Audyssey or any other room correction program going to attempt to EQ that? Would aiming them at the seats provide better results when room correction is active?
This is a lot like towing in your front speakers.
It's what it kind of comes down to, yeah. And I guess that my thing is a lot of times it's going to try to do some stuff to it. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's going to try to get the best response that it can get out of it. But the idea is that you do not want to be able to really super duper localize that sound. It's supposed to be, a wider, a more diffuse sound. So if you have it pointed directly at you, or even towed in a considerable degree, it could be more localizable. And not only that, it's supposed to go over multiple seats.
Yes,
so
yeah, that's Dolby's whole thing.
If you're pointing it towards the main seat, then it's kind of going over the head, perhaps, of the seats in front, or it's to the side of some of the other seats, or it's not. You know what I mean? It's just. It makes it, at least in my mind, it makes it easier for there to be a diffuse sound if you're pointing them straight down than it is to try to tell people how to aim them so that it will be diffuse for everybody, not too localizable, and coming from the right direction for every seat. I think just straight down makes the most sense.
Yeah, like the way I would explain this, the way I would think of it is, if this were true, if you needed to aim the ceiling speakers at your primary listening seat to get good results with your room correction program, then you would have to do the same thing with all of your speakers. That logic would apply to everything, which would mean you would always have to tow in your front speakers so they're aimed right at the primary listening seat. You would always have to aim your surround speakers in your surround back speakers so they're aimed right at the primary listening seat. And that isn't the case. This is one of the reasons why the better room EQ programs take multiple measurements. They're not EQing just from one measurement. They're saying, no, you take a collective group of measurements that are around your seat so that we don't over-equalize the higher frequencies, the directional frequencies. We get a good sampling of a larger size to go, in general, what should we be doing equalization-wise to get you something close to a flat, accurate response? That's actually easier to do when every seat is getting an off-axis response versus one seat getting directly on-axis and every other seat getting off-axis. So Dolby wants every seat to get a pretty diffuse overhead sound.
Yeah.
They're trying to kind of mimic what you're getting in the theater where the speakers are way up high. There's no way
30 feet over your head
or
something like that. Yeah.
They're way up there. So that's what they're trying to sort of mimic. So that's basically it. You still want them aiming straight down. If they have narrower dispersion, then again, it's similar to a front speaker being towed in. You want all the seats to sort of be within the cone of sound that comes out of that speaker, whatever that cone might be. If it has really wide, even dispersion, you got a huge cone, so it almost doesn't matter where you aim them. If you got a narrower cone of sound coming out of that speaker, you want to try and get all the seats within that sort of cone of sound that it has.
Yeah. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.